Hello, screenwriters, and welcome to Writing for Screens, the Screenwriting Step-by-Step Project, episode 44. My name is Glenn Gers, and I am here almost every weekday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to work on a pilot script with you looking over my shoulders and hoping that that will give you some sense of what the process is, what a writer's process is for writing. It's not the only one. You should find the process that works best for you. But I wanted to show you what I have learned in 25 years of screenwriting experience of how I take an idea through outline into a script. And we're doing that piece by piece every day when I can make it. Yesterday, I couldn't make it. I had stuff to do, but I dropped a video, so I thought that was kind of worth it. While I am here, if you would like to contact me, ask me a question, make a comment, you are more than welcome to do it. But if you are not watching this live, you're in luck. You can still ask me a question or make a comment at writingforscreens.com. Use the Contact Me section. There's a whole bunch of them. It's Contact Me is on every page, and you can ask me a question in that. Or you can put a question into the comments below this very video or any video on the Writings for Screens channel. Any comment, any question, it'll come to me directly, and I will do my best to answer it. In the meantime, hello, still no notifications, but an alarm. I'm not sure what that means, but it sounds disturbing. Please explain further, Alex. Hello, 99 Precinct. Hello, Wolf Powers. Great video yesterday. Yes, I did too. Thank you. I am feeling good. I wish I could do more videos. I have to tell you, doing these live streams has cut into my ability to make the videos, which is kind of a drag. I was trying to do them once a week for a while there. Now I'm lucky if I'm getting once a month. I'm going to try to do more. I promise. That was a fantastic video. Yay! Yay, yay. So great. I am really glad that you guys liked it. I thought it was helpful and it was fun to make, and I really do actually like making those videos which try and condense my thoughts into a real practical lesson. But that's not what we're here for today. We're here today to watch me make a mess, to watch me explore and experiment and go through the process of writing, because that's really what I'm trying to teach here. More than any specific thing, I'm trying to show you what it's like to sit day after day and take a mass of possibilities and turn it into a properly constructed, entertaining script. So with that in mind, let's get to it. Because the first thing we need to do is, wait a second, we have news here. Hold on. YouTube doesn't notify plop and start the live session. That's weird, because I get a notification. So that is a great question. I don't know. I will look into that. I will find out. I have a separate identity on YouTube under my name, and I will sign up for that and see if I get a notification for myself. Weird. Don't know. Should happen. Shouldn't it? You would think. Okay. Back to business. The title. This is a big one that I have been avoiding because it's hard. Oh, look at this. Maria has helpful information. All YouTubers are experiencing this. I did not know that. I know very little about what is going on in YouTube. I am just too darn busy to pay attention. I don't have time to watch other people's videos. I don't have time. I just am barely hanging on here getting this stuff done. Okay, so let us hang on. We have YouTube is notorious for not giving notifications. You know what? I would believe that. It's a vast world with 1 billion people in it. This YouTube world, and who the heck knows? I will look into it though. It is on my list. But now let's talk about the title, because this is the beginning of one of them processes that I like to talk about. This is important to know. We will not solve this quickly. This is a tough one. Like many things in screenwriting, you don't get it all at once. You work at it, you come back to it, you think you got it, you go off on a wrong path. That is what is going to happen here. So here is the deal. I cannot think of a title for this pilot, the series, let alone the pilot. The pilot episode will be fine. But I am going to do some work here in the notes. This is my workspace. The title of the series. The title of the series. The episode will take care of itself. Episode titles are easy, and they don't really matter that much. The title of the series is big. The title of the project itself is always a big decision. And very frequently, like I have to tell you, Fracture, the movie I worked on 10, 12 years ago, they gave me a script that said it was called Fracture. I was doing a rewrite on it. I was sure that title would not last. It did not seem like a good title to me. It's fine, but I certainly never would have used that as the title. But titles, by the way, are generally often not in the control of writers. This is something you should know. Once you get into the business end of it, they take over, they take it away, and it is very possible that they will retitle your project. If you get a good title, it tends to stick. But I got to tell you, you never know. Oh, look at this. Okay. Something I said, an old-fashioned wind-up alarm clock. Wolf, you're standing out there holding on to the 20th century values to make sure that we don't lose them. And I think that's cool. Right, mate. There you go. Anyway, I appreciate you guys finding ways to show up here, considering that nobody knows if I'm on or not. And by the way, sorry, couldn't be on yesterday. It happens. Title. Let's get back to this title thing. Now, we're going back to brainstorming. We're going back to raw, uncompressed, meaningless junk pouring out of my head in order to try and stumble into an area where I will find a title. What makes a good title? This is the good question. Okay, here's the thing about titles. One thing that makes a good title is it needs to be something that gets your attention, that you say, ooh, it should in some way be catchy, interesting. It also should in some way lean towards the genre of the piece. This is a tricky thing that's constantly changing because titles are fads. They go in fashions, fads, and things. And so therefore, you get like the title will hint towards the genre. Ideally, the really great title will refer to the story, the world, the characters in some way specifically. Fracture referred to one scene. The thing that makes a title good is that it tells you what you might be getting into, but it's also really hooky and cool, and people like to say it and tell each other. On the other hand, this is swept away by an unusual destiny in the blue sea of August. This is a real title. This is a real title of I haven't seen it in 20 or so years, but it was, when I saw it, it was a knockout movie. It was great, by Lena Wertmuller. Well, I'm just going to write that to Lena Wertmuller. It was a romantic comedy. It brought us Giancarlo Giannini. I think it was his first big role in a film that made it in America. It's about a rich woman who is on a yacht down in the Mediterranean and ends up shipwrecked with just her and this skeevy cabin guy who's a communist. And of course they have to fall in love. And it's a sex comedy and a political comedy, but the main thing I wanted to talk about this is the title, "Swept Away by an Unusual Destiny in the Blue Sea of August." You wouldn't think, I mean, it's hard to fit on a marquee, which used to be a question. How well will it fit upon the theater awning? Now you don't worry about that so much, but what you do worry about is how well will it fit on a thumbnail. If it's a really long title, it ain't going to fit on the thumbnail except in teeny letters. Anyway, digging deep. Yes, that's true, but it sounds a little like kind of, I don't know. It feels kind of gravish, cemetery-ish, and I'm not sure about that. Right, it has to be very, especially books. That is true. All titles, almost all titles, are kind of misleading. I actually have to say, I was so proud of the title Disfigured, which is a movie I wrote and directed. I made it. It's a little DIY indie. I'm so proud of it. It's about two women. It's about women and weight, and about an obese woman and an anorexic woman who become friends. And when I was trying to think of a title, and Disfigured came to me, and Disfigured, it was at first, I was shocked that I had thought of it. I was like, ouch, wow, that's mean, because it's about figures, shapes, body shapes, and yet at the same time, this is a word for having your face destroyed. And yet, the more I thought about it, the more I thought, wow, that's kind of perfect. And eventually, because the principle I made that movie with is, if it makes me nervous or scared, and I think, gosh, I love that, but I'm a little worried how people will think about it. If I thought that, that was the reason to do it. That was the guiding principle of that project. This project, yeah, I think Cyber Sleuths, the thing about that is that it's a little, first of all, it's a little misleading because actually our main characters aren't. This is gonna be just the worst. I can tell you right now. I don't know. Think George's evidence. I'm going to literally just web sleuths, but that's actually the hunters, the crime hunters. These are terrible. This is important. This is important. When you are doing something like this, you have to put down the terrible stuff. You have to put down the stuff that you're going, oh, no, don't do that. But you never know what it will lead to. Honestly, something that is going to probably happen is that a line of dialogue or a small detail in the script itself is going to become the title. It's going to become the thing that something that unites the killer and the group. That is an interesting thought. And yes, now what is it? What is it that unites them? Framed. The chemistry set killer. Yeah, this is a tough. It's Elementary is already the title. Elementary is the title of a modernized Sherlock Holmes TV series. Solving Crimes or Club, yes. The Crime Club. Oh, digging deep. Let's put it all down there. You never know. Um, so absolute conversation. Um, I just keep thinking I'm going to end up with something sort of obscure and not see. These are all sort of like I know what that is, and the thing is, it sort of reminds me of like thrillers that where they it's like the Sentinel or something, where you get this sense of somebody sitting in a corporate boardroom saying what sounds like this genre, and that's what I don't want to. Yes, the Killer, the Crime Club, the actually the Crime Club being too much like the Breakfast Club. Maria points out that it's too much like the Breakfast Club. I'm not sure that that's a bad thing because the thing I like about it is the is that it's misleading. That sounds weird, but the idea that they think they're the Breakfast Club, but they're going to end up in deep in over their heads, because that's really the key. In over their heads. That's really kind of what I think. That's what I'm trying to get at. The most important thing about this is a story about everybody in this story gets in over their heads. Less generic. Yes, less generic would be good. How about the evidence? Not impossible. Sounds violent, subversive sounding, but is actually quite harmless. Yes, yeah. I'm not sure, but this is actually the thing that I want to get into is that our characters are being confronting something, and it's also it's a cold case. Bold that. This is actually I'm going to move that to the top because that's really buried, hidden connections. Sometimes you just, in case you can't tell what I'm doing, I'm trying to get words, because sometimes words, if you try too hard to get a phrase or the actual title, you can end up just stealing other titles. Buried is interesting. Buried has a lot to do with it because outsiders, innocence. Let's see. So this is what you do. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to make this enormous list. This is actually the Tuesday. Yes, exactly. Like the Tuesday night crime club. Detectives. Crackers. There was a movie by that title. Does podcast have a title too? Yes. That is interesting. Pod crime. It does sound cheesy, and I think it's just too funny. But podcast title: hunting, seeking, sleuthing, crumbs. Not bad. Crumbs. That's interesting. Oops. Crumbs. The Crumb Club. The Dark Forest Club. The Yes, that is right. Pod crime. Um, pod crime. Pod crime just sounds like something that it sounds like a Star Wars legal problem. It's like um, it sounds like something that like you have to get arrested for misusing your pod. Um, hmm. Oh, shred of evidence. Neat. Shred. I feel like I'm cheating here. You guys are coming up with better stuff than me. Nice. Circumstantial, even spelled properly. I think it's too smart. It sounds too, but shred of evidence. Actually, that's very interesting. Um, uh, well, at the moment, I am on a club roll, but that can change. I could be on any shred of evidence. Actually, is fascinating. Shred of evidence. It just because what I'm looking for is something that has a little bit of humor to it, or a sense that this is not just it's dark, but it's not mind hunters. It's not something absolutely brutal. Um, yes, yes. This is the thing. Honestly, if everybody could crowdsource their titles. That could help everybody. There should be some kind of group where everyone just sits around and comes up with titles for each other's projects. Crowd, the crime crowd. Oh, I think that's the name of the crime crowd. This is, I think, too cutesy, um, but I believe that's the name of my group. The actual name of the group. Um, hmm. Oh, society. Ah, interesting. Society. F Society. For Mr. Robot fans out there, F Society is a crucial part of Mr. Robot. Um, I would imagine a bloody killer. Yes, I agree, except that it's more about the shredded quality of the evidence as opposed to the shredded quality of the victim. Um, yes, absolutely. Go for it. You have my permission, and everybody else. It's a public forum. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. Society is actually quite cool. Um, Actually, the crime society. The problem is that just doesn't fit. Um, there's a Discord voice community. Yes, I know about Discord for screenwriters, and they have a channel for just this type of thing. Oh, that's cool. Discord has been one of those things. Discord is a sort of like a live chat, both written and you can talk on it like phone, group phone. But basically, it is a world that I absolutely am fascinated by and just have not had time to learn. I have not been able to learn how to get. I have actually, I'm signed into Discord with writing for screens, but I haven't figured out yet, and I don't have time to sit and play. It's terrible. Um, so, nice. Uh, Okay, Dwight, that is nice. Crowd solving. Crowd solving society. Okay, now this actually, huh. What I'm thinking of is there like a bird that brings together shreds of evidence, like Magpie. I don't know what they do. Twisted chemistry, interesting. I think that's it's a little too fun and also a little too judgmental. We want to let the audience make the judgment instead of telling them what to think. The twisted chemistry is fun. Actually, I once wrote a romantic comedy back in the 90s called Chemistry in a Tuxedo. Okay, so what puts together pieces? Ooh, the shadow readers. See, that's pleasantly pretentious, because it also suggests Plato's cave, the concept that we are all just reading. Yes, I was wondering about that. Ravens and crows. Murder of crows. You know what? I have a feeling that someone has already used this. I mean, aside from the Counting Crows, but it's certainly worth keeping in there. Community, yes, indeed. Watchdog, yeah. Okay. Yes, puzzle is good. Yes. Okay. Okay, that is a heck of a band name, though. The Zoom Crows. Actually, you never know. That's the sort of thing that people could name themselves. These people could call themselves the Zoom Crows, or the Zoom Collectors. The Collecting Collective. Yes, I am being silly. This is, yes, follow the trail, pull the thread. These are very good. Zoom Crew. Yeah. I'll put it back here. Dante's thread. Dante, because I was thinking about how he talks about going into the dark forest where you don't know what you're going to find, and also he goes, I believe, he goes into the underworld and comes back. Orpheus. Also Theseus. These are people who went into mazes or things. This is fun. I like the idea of the title being the name of the society too. We are all learning it. Look at all we got. This is cool. Here's the deal. Here's what happens. You do this, you put this big thing, and then you put it aside. Let's talk about that for a minute, because this is big. This is a biggie. Putting it aside. This is the key. The key to writing is really pushing yourself to do stuff and then really being able to put it aside so that you can look at it again fresh. You don't do it all at the same time. Circle of, I'm not sure, but let's talk about circles of hell. Although, realistically, these people are supposed to be getting us out of circles of hell. The circles of hell, they're yeah, I mean, what are they doing? What they're, oh, sorry, you didn't see that. What are they doing? They are trying to pull cold cases, lost. Ooh, that's an important word. Lost. I know Lost is a show. I was just putting the word down. Lost souls. Lost and Found Souls Society. Found Souls Society. Unearthed. So many things to think about. Well, we have got a lot of interesting stuff here. You know, shred of evidence just keeps sticking to me. I'm not sure. This is fascinating. We have gotten a lot of possibilities, and what we are going to do, what I am going to do, is make a place for this. I'm going to make a title workspace. I am in the overview now for those of you who missed it. And I'm going to put down here title workspace. And I'm going to make that look fancy. And then okay, we've got lost evidence and we've got hot cold cases, both of which are definitely going on the list. Evidence, hot cold cases. What I'm going to do here, you know, this is not a stupid question at all. The answer is there isn't a checklist, there isn't a rule. Although I promise you, every single screenwriting book is going to have a bunch of rules, and they're good. Those will be very good. They will be helpful. I should know them, but I don't. I know that the title has to, in some way, relate to the contents. It has to be pulled from the contents or described from the contents, or but at the same time, it has to sound like a title that is in this genre. The tricky thing here is I'm not sure what genre this is. It's kind of a thriller romantic comedy. So therefore that's a, you know, I mean, like Grosse Pointe Blank, North by Northwest. You know, the concept of the romantic comedy thriller is a narrow one. But a title has to give you some sense of what you're getting into, of what you're looking for, which means that a lot of titling is sounding like other titles in that world. That's a lot of it. You know, the titles kind of have to both be very, very unique and pulled from the reality of your specific story, and they also kind of have to be generic. Cold justice. The thing about cold justice, one of the other things you have to do when you do a title is you have to make sure that no one's used it, so you have to Google them. So when you get your list down to, like, you know, 5 or 10, Google all of them, because a lot of titles already got used. Yes, people will reuse them. Fracture has turned out to be reused several times. There's like 8 things called Hard Times. Cold Justice sounds a little bit like a movie with Tom Selleck from the '90s or something, or maybe like an action film with like Dolph Lundgren or something. Um, it should relate to the context. Sounds like belonging scripture to the, give you some sense of what you're looking for, and be unique. Pull from, yes. The answer the answer to all those questions are yeah, kinda. It's tricky. You want something that's really catchy and hooky, but like I said, that could end up being something like, you know, The Verdict, or it could be something like Clockwork Orange. Clockwork Orange, unfair. It was a novel. The title's already there. But like The Verdict, legal thriller. Yeah, but I mean, there's probably 80. Basically like 75% of legal thrillers could have the same title, The Verdict. No, that is true. There's no romance titles there's no romance in our titles yet, and I think that's okay. I think that that's one thing that you'll learn as you go. Either the title plus the thumbnail with two people's faces, or the trailer. You can't always get everything, especially when you have ambitions as big as this does. Um, yes, always good to Google all your names. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take everything we just came up with, and I am going to copy it into the overview. And I'm just going to leave it there so that we don't lose it, because this thing about notes, my notes thing, these notes that I write, usually I don't look back at them. I look at this. This is 82 pages of notes already. Okay, 82. I have done 82 pages of notes while you have watched, and that's actually low, because if you guys weren't here, I would be writing more and talking less. So the thing is, 82 pages of notes, I'm not going to look back at those. If you have something that you write that's good, you want to copy it out of the morass of flowing thoughts, and that's why we have the overview and the outline, because those things are where you put the stuff you don't want to lose. Hot Love and Cold Justice, a little on the nose. The Keyboard Warrior Society. Not impossible. I'm gonna put that one in, and then I'm gonna call a halt to today's The Keyboard Warrior Society. The thing about that is a warrior. They are warriors, but they're kind of more like the keyboard detective or the keyboard hunters or something. Keyboard warriors sounds a little more bold and brave and violent than these people are supposed to be. I just don't think they would call themselves the keyboard warriors. Oh wait, coppers. What is it? The names of the yeah. The keyboard cops, the keyboard detectives. I mean, that's on the name. Keyboard Detective Society. Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's the thing. It has to be something that they would call themselves if it's going to be the name. Thread and romance, something with heartstrings, possibly. Like I said, I'm willing to sacrifice. We've already got so many things going on that I'm willing to sacrifice the romance and let people discover it. Because if they get into the mystery and the thriller, they'll find the romance. I'm not sure about that. Love and Justice, I am sure something has already been called that. But like I said, I'm going to not worry about getting romance into the title. One of the things that that you need to do when you're doing a title is recognize that you hook one thing, and then that allows you to open up the audience to other things once they're hooked. The title is a hook. Yeah, it's tricky because it sort of is both. It is a romantic comedy thriller, and I'm not sure. That's why I want some humor to it. I just don't feel like we have to worry about the romance part. Well, we've done 40 minutes, so guys, I am going to call it quits for now. I am going to say thanks. This has been fun. I think tomorrow I may be doing a full-scale Ask Me Anything, and then we'll come back to this the next day. That is my guess, but I'm playing this as it got lays. You never know. Oh, gosh darn it. After Dark Society, that's not impossible. I'm going to put it in. Okay. After Dark Society. Dark. Okay. Pursuit. You know what? That is true, Liv. Hi, Liv. Never talked to you before. Pursuit. That's not a bad idea. We're going to take a second. We're going to put the After Dark Society and Pursuit. Pursuers. Interesting. Okay, we have to stop. If we don't stop, it'll go too long. Letting you learn. I let you write this. This is cheating. You guys are coming up with all the good stuff. I've got nothing. I'm just the steering influence here. Thank you. This has been fun. I'll see you next time. Go write something.